Welcome to the VoiceMe Podcast, information and advice on the world of voiceover presented by voiceme.co.za, the South African search directory for voice artists and related services. I'm Andrew Sutherland, founder of VoiceMe, and in this episode, I want to talk about one of the most urgent and critical issues facing the creative industry in South Africa today, the rights of actors and performers, and the complex, ongoing fight to secure fair treatment, legal protections, and sustainable careers in this space. This is not just an issue for actors. It's one that touches voice artists, musicians, dancers, writers, directors, in short, anyone whose work depends on fair, respectful treatment and creative labor. So today, we'll explore not just the what, but also the why, the how, and importantly, what you personally can do to help push this industry forward. Let's start with the foundation. The South African creative sector, unlike many other professions, operates largely without formal regulation. While there are cultural funding bodies, film commissions, and talent agents, the actual working conditions, the contracts, pay rates, residuals, and protections, are for the most part ungoverned by law. A nurse or teacher has a defined pay scale, structured leave, and government-backed job protections. A security guard or a factory worker has minimum wage protections and clear safety standards. But an actor or a voice artist, often none of the above. Actors, especially background artists and freelancers, work on a piecemeal basis, often signing contracts under pressure, accepting unfavorable terms because, frankly, they can't afford to walk away. Afraid to complain about unsafe conditions or unfair contracts for fear of being labeled difficult or blacklisted. So here's where I want to pause and offer some advice. If you're a performer, understand that you are a professional. You're not lucky to be on set. You're not just grateful for the opportunity. You are providing skilled labor, often highly specialized skilled labor, emotionally demanding skilled labor, and physically taxing work, and you deserve fair terms. So, know your rights. Familiarize yourself with SAGA's published materials and guidelines. SAGA are available for any questions and advice. Even if you're not a member yet, arm yourself with knowledge. Document everything. Keep records of your contracts, call sheets, communications, and working conditions. If things go wrong, documentation is often your only and strongest ally. Now, something that has changed the game entirely is AI, and in particular, generative AI. It's no longer some futuristic concept. It's here and already shaping the entertainment landscape. Generative AI can replicate voices, faces, movements, and even entire performances. Think about the rise of deepfakes or synthetic voice models trained on a few minutes of real audio. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If no regulations are put in place, producers and studios will increasingly be able to use these tools to reduce or replace human performers, and at scale. A production might pay a background actor a few hundred or at best a few thousand rand for a one-off scan of their body and face. But that scan can then be used indefinitely to fill crowd scenes, no longer requiring the actor to show up, work, or be paid ever again. Voice artists could have their voices cloned to generate new lines or performances without additional sessions or fees. Entire dubbing roles could be replaced by automated lip-syncing systems with cloned voices in dozens of languages. So you need to be proactive. Don't agree to digital scans or voice captures without reading the fine print. If a contract allows for unlimited reuse, you may be signing away any future earnings. Ask questions. Why do they need your body scan or a clone of your voice? How will it be used? For how long? On which platforms? Support policy reform. Right now, South Africa's AI regulatory frameworks are very underdeveloped and largely ignore the needs of creative workers. SAGA and other groups are trying to change that, but they need more of us backing them in this mission. SAGA is also a member of the International Federation of Actors, which gives them access to the policies, practices, and contractual clauses that have been implemented internationally so that they can lobby the South African government to follow international trends when it comes to regulating AI. And here's where things get both fascinating and complex. SAGA's push is all about collective bargaining, but there's a legal catch. South African competition law views freelancers negotiating rates collectively as potential price fixing. That means actors and performers can't simply unionize in the traditional sense. To work around this, SAGA and the Personal Managers Association, the PMA, applied for and successfully secured an exemption from the Competition Commission in January 2025, and it's valid for 5 years. This victory took 2 years and over 100,000 rand to achieve. That's not just red tape, that's determination. So what does this exemption actually allow SAGA to do? Well, they can now recommend standard rates, they can draft standard contracts, and negotiate working standards with all industry players. It's not legally binding yet, as this exemption does come with conditions and detailed reporting requirements, but it does create a critical negotiating platform. So use these resources. Even if you're a lone freelancer, you can align your contracts with SAGA's recommendations. If a producer says, "We don't know what the rate is," point them to the preferred agreements and rate cards. Share the knowledge. Many actors, especially emerging ones, don't even know these protections exist. So talk to your peers, share SAGA's materials, and help spread the standard. At the end of the day, this is not an academic or policy debate. This is about people. And I want to take a moment to share some of the horrific stories that came out of our recent SAGA industry meeting. Firework injuries. Background actors hurt and burnt on sets where safety corners were cut. In some cases, there was also no medical support or insurance. Rural exploitation and human trafficking. Performers brought in from rural areas, crammed into inadequate housing they had to rent, and charged exploitative fees just to work, as well as pay for their own meals for weeks. These are just 2 incidents, but there are many, many more. We have to remember that behind every regulation, every contract clause, and every guild effort, there is a human being whose health, dignity, and livelihood is at stake. This is why we fight for fairer systems, because real lives are affected. So why aren't more actors on board? Why aren't they joining SAGA? The answer, unfortunately, is fear and apathy. Many actors and voice artists are scared that speaking out or aligning with the guild will mark them as difficult and cost them work. And there's the more dangerous force, apathy, the belief that nothing will change anyway. Ask yourself, what's the cost of staying silent? Remember that producers and casting agents ultimately want a healthy, thriving talent pool. They don't benefit long-term from exploitation. So find your voice and speak up. Even small acts of solidarity matter. Sharing a post, joining a meeting, signing up for SAGA membership. Each action chips away at the wall of inaction. So what can you do? Firstly, join SAGA. Even if you're a voice artist and not a screen actor, solidarity matters. Numbers matter. SAGA needs a critical mass of members to wield real influence. Membership fees are really affordable with excellent benefits and are also tax deductible. So for just 160 Rand a month, a full SAGA member has access to networking events, conferences and seminars, webinars and online courses, workshops and classes, legal advice and contract assistance, comprehensive legal support, theatre ticket discounts, 25% off IMDb Pro, funeral benefit, and 50% off Capital Legacy's will and estate planning. Each one, bring one. Make it personal. Invite a friend, a colleague, a fellow performer. Build the movement person by person. Engage online. Visibility matters. The more likes, shares, and comments SAGA's posts get, the stronger their message becomes, and the more the social algorithms push those posts further into the general public's feeds. Report any and all issues. Remember, you can report unsafe conditions or bad contracts anonymously. SAGA has mechanisms in place to investigate without putting your name on the line. The guild exists to be your fighter in the ring, so you don't have to. Right now, after this episode, take 5 minutes to visit SAGA's pages. Their website and social media links are all in the show notes. Sign up or share a post. Small, immediate actions build momentum. Let's build a better industry together for us all and for all future performers. Finally, let's look at the wider context. This isn't just an actor fight. It's a creative sector fight. Writers are facing similar challenges around AI-generated scripts. Musicians are seeing their work sampled or replicated without fair payment or compensation. Casting directors, production crews, and post-production creatives are grappling with exploitative gig conditions and crappy take-it-or-leave-it budgets and offers. The bigger picture here is about unity, about creating an industry where fairness, respect, and sustainability are not afterthoughts, but foundations. If we want a thriving South African creative economy, we need to lift everyone. That means cross-discipline alliances, shared campaigns, and a unified voice when it comes to pushing for legal and regulatory reform. So let me leave you with this. What kind of industry do you want to be part of in 5, 10, 20 years? What will you say when someone asks what you did to help create a fairer, more ethical creative landscape in South Africa? Because doing nothing, staying silent and hoping for the best, isn't a neutral act. It allows injustice to continue and weaken everyone. That's it for today's episode. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and my team at support@voiceme.co.za. Leave a comment or give me a call on 0861 VoiceMe. That's 0861 864 2363 if you're in South Africa. And sign up for a VoiceMe profile at voiceme.co.za. To get in touch with SAGA, go to saguildofactors.co.za. I truly believe that a collaborative, creative community, whether you're an artist, a client, producer, or talent agent, strengthens our industry. Like, follow, and engage with VoiceMe on @VoiceMeSA across all social platforms. And if you enjoyed or learned something from today's episode, or know of someone who can benefit from this information, please like, share, subscribe, turn on automatic downloads, or click the bell icon so you don't miss the next one. I'm Andrew Sutherland, and that's all from me here at VoiceMe for this week. Until next time, stay informed, stay empowered, and cheers for now.